Early Leaders in the Reformation by me, Sean Roby. Huldrych Zwingli, from 1484 to 1531. He was a Catholic priest influenced by Martin Luther and many others. He convinced the government to stop all worship based by non-standards of the Bible. So he liked standards of the Bible. He thought it was the only way of living. And Zwinglian churches were very drab, had no religious paintings whatsoever. They were pretty much just white walls. They didn't even have singing in the services, so you can imagine how fun those were. John Calvin. He was born in 1509, died in 1564. He wrote a book called The Institute of the Christian Religion, and he taught that success in business was a sign of God's grace. King Henry VIII. King Henry was known for having one wife, and if that wife did not produce a son, he would kill her and get a new one. This is probably why he wanted to break away, because he couldn't get a divorce filed in the Roman Catholic Church. So he created his own to make do for that. And also, he didn't want to give money to the church because he wanted to keep it for himself. Surprise, surprise. William Tyndale. He had really Protestant views, which means he really didn't like the Roman Catholic Church. He thought against it. And he was burned at stake for punishment. Surprise. In this picture, where he's reading, it says, "Lord up the King of England ruse." Rebels. So here's the first one, Martin Luther. And here's a picture of him. Looked kind of creepy, but what can I say about that? So Martin Luther was one of the last people that broke away from the Roman Catholic Church. He performed his own religion, and it was called Lutheranism. Next there was Jan Hus. That's what he looked like. So Jan was another person who broke away from the church. He was earlier than Mr. Luther, and he was one of the people who made Martin Luther do what he did. And he was burned at the stake for his punishment. He's deceased now. And then Catherine of Siena. And this is what she looked like. That's what an Italian mystic would look like. She was an Italian mystic. And a mystic is someone with spiritual experiences. And she became a saint in 1461, excuse me. And she and other mystics believed in real relationships with God instead of just church services. She believed you needed a real connection with God to actually believe in His ways. So yeah, those were the early calls for reform.